Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the HG Gundam The Origin Zaku I Kycilia's Forces version. So this is going to be a pretty short review because I've pretty much reviewed this kit 2, 3, 4, 5 times already at this point. This version is in black and it has a different part for the head, and that's pretty much it. So there's not really too much to say about this, but if you still have yet to get any version of this kit, no matter whether it's the Zaku I or the Zaku II or the Zaku II high mobility type, I would definitely recommend getting one at some point. Whether this is the one that you get over other ones, there's not really too much incentive to get this unless you don't paint and you want a black Zaku I, or you really like that new head part that has the little kind of spike there, kind of point added on the forehead of it. So that's really going to be the only really incentives to get this version over any other versions. In a minute here, later on in the review, I'll compare this with the other versions of the Zaku I from the line, and why I think that if you had to get one version of the Zaku I, the one that I would still recommend would be just the regular Zaku I, the green one. Just because it comes with the most stuff, and they're all listed at the exact same list price of 1,700 yen between this one, the Char's version, and the just original green version. So, judging by the fact that they're all at the same price, this one, I guess this one does have the shield, which the Char's version does come with, which the regular one doesn't have. So I guess if you really wanted that shield, then you'd want to get this version, but as much as we all love Char, I think Char's version is probably the one that has the least incentive to get it, because if you paint, there's really no reason to get this Char's version over this version, because this has exactly all the exact same stuff, plus the bazooka, which the Char's version doesn't have. So we'll talk more about that later. Let's just talk about this kit. Construction of it, again, is great. It's a really nice kit. Like I said, if you haven't got one, I would at least recommend just picking up one just for how good these kits are. So I don't mind building another one. I gotta say though, I'm probably reaching my limit on them though here pretty soon. I don't know how many more of these Bandai can put out, and I mean, I'm sure it's not just me. I'm sure the community in general is getting a little bit burnt out on these kits despite how good they are. So I don't think Bandai will try to put out too many more of these. They may try one or two other P Bandai versions, and honestly this probably should have been a P Bandai kit. I'm not exactly too sure why it wasn't, but for whatever reason it's not. So as I said, the only totally new part specific to this kit is this headpiece here, which has this little spike on the front, so I'll just take a second to point that out to you guys. Also, I guess you could sort of count the stickers as something exclusive to this kit, but it's pretty much just all generic caution markings, these stickers here for the cameras, and there's a couple of Xeon stickers, but again, those are just generic Xeon stickers. They're anything like specific to Kycilia's forces or anything like that. So really, even if you do use stickers, that doesn't really add anything to the kit, to be honest. What is included is an action-based connector. You have your standard Zaku Heat Hawk, just an open version which fits in the hand slightly loosely, and then a closed version which will just plug onto the side skirt. You have your Zaku machine gun, which does have a peg on the handle on the left and the right side, so you can hold that on either side, but you only have a trigger finger hand for the left. The camera does move up and down. The secondary handle moves side to side, so you can hold that no problem. We do also have a second ammo drum for that, which can be attached onto the back skirt of the Zaku. We have the bazooka here, which is quite nice. You have a little sticker there for the camera, which doesn't really work that well. I think the earlier versions of this kit, I think just the original Char Zaku II, I believe, maybe the Black Tri-Star's high mobility type versions came with that as well, but they came with a foil sticker for that, which works much better. This one doesn't really want to stay down laying in there, so it doesn't really work all that well. And then we also have a connection piece for this, so you're able to connect this onto the side of the backpack. Now you do also have 2 extra ammo cartridges for this, but there's nowhere to plug this onto the kit, so those are actually listed as just extra parts, leftover parts. So you could use these, again, if you have like a kit that does have the shield parts where you can attach these onto the shield, and you can attach those onto there just for extra parts, or like if you get creative, I'm sure you could find a way to just attach this onto the back skirt or something like that. It wouldn't really take much, but just drilling a hole in a peg there or something, or attaching them onto the side skirts or something. So I'm sure you could figure that out. Wouldn't really be the most difficult thing to modify. And then we've got our shield. Again, this is not the first time we've had the shield. This came with the Char's version as well as, I think, the Bugu maybe as well, or some other kits. So we've had this a couple times now. This part will slide up and down in that track, but this just attaches onto the back of the arm, and the hand will just grab around this handle here. and it's just held like that. So nice detail on the inside and the outside. It's a nice shield for sure. And then a couple of hand options aside from just the regular holding hands there on the kit. You have just the trigger finger hand for the right and this open hand for the left for its kind of a rifle support hand, or just kind of general open hand there. We do have a few leftover parts here. A couple notable ones here are, though, just the standard head. So again, if you don't like that spike on the head, which is kind of like the only reason to get this, but like I said, if you do paint, this does come with more parts than the Shars version, so I would recommend getting this one over the Shars custom kit. If you wanted to make a Shars unit, you could just use this one instead of that one with the spike on its head, or just use that one and just sand it down. Plenty of things that you can do with that, but anyway, good to know you have that part. Also, you have this shoulder part, which is the shoulder part that comes for making the Zaku 1 for just the regular Zaku 1 kit. So you do have the option of making the shoulder like this if you want. Now, it doesn't have the parts for the side shoulder shield, unfortunately, so that again will be an advantage of getting just the regular green Zaku 1. So as I've been talking about with basically different versions of the same kit, what you really want to know is which version do you want to get. Now, like I said, they all cost the exact same price, or list price anyway, of 1700 yen. It's just all a matter of the differences in what you get with the kit. So, for example, the Shars version and the Kycilia's version both come with the shield. The regular version does not. The regular version comes with the long rifle. The other two versions do not. The Kycilia's version and the Zaku regular version, the green one, come with a bazooka. The Shars version does not. So there's things that you have to consider. One thing that I haven't mentioned too is that it's a really small difference, but on the back as well. Oh, I suppose the backpack of the Shars custom version is also different. I always forget about the backpacks being slightly different. But yeah, I guess that's one thing also for the Shars version, is that the backpack is slightly different, and also the back of the legs. Here at the bottom of the leg for the Shars version, it's completely rounded, but on the other two versions, it has like this little curve there. It's just a slightly different shape there at the base of the back of the bottom of the leg. So that's just another really small thing. So my ultimate recommendation would be to get this green one here. It also has, as I was mentioning before, foil stickers for the cameras on the weapons, which is much better than the stickers that's included for the weapons on the Kycilia's type. So just for the most bang for your buck, I would get the regular green Zaku 1. As for any negatives of the kit, again, if you've seen any of my past videos reviewing other versions of this, there's really not a whole lot negative really to speak of, except for a couple of tricky seam lines. It's really not that tricky, but there's just a couple of annoying seam lines, we'll just say. One is for the shoulder armor there, that pauldron there. For the shoulder, that armor does have a seam line straight down the middle of that. And then for the forearms as well, there's a seam line right down the middle of the forearm. And that is actually going through some of the like panel line detail there on the forearm, which is a little bit annoying. You just have to be a little bit more careful removing that. Otherwise, that's pretty much it though, so it's really not too bad. Other than that, the engineering in these kits is absolutely fantastic. The detail is really good. It's just kind of traits of the entire HG, the Origin line in general. They're all really nicely engineered and really nicely detailed. So if you haven't gotten any of these or any of the Origins kits, I would definitely recommend checking some of them out. Just due to the facts of Zaku's being probably the most popular grunge suits in the entire Gundam universe. I think it's a design that people really don't mind buying multiples of in different variations and things like that, or even multiples of the exact same kit to make like some sort of team or something out of them. Is something that I think Bandai can definitely pull off, and a lot of people will invest money into that just because it is such a versatile and popular design. So while this is another great addition to a great line of kits, at some point Bandai has to stop making variations of these, or if they're going to keep continuing it, make some of them premium Bandai. I think they're just really going to oversaturate their market or their line of HG, the Origin, with these different variations of the Zaku. As great as they are, they're just getting to be a few too many of them, I think. So they're cool and all, and like I said, if you really like Zakus or you really enjoy these HD Origin kits, then I'm sure you're probably like me and you're not quite tired of them yet, but that point is coming very quickly. So as always guys, just a big thank you to SA Gundam Store for sending me this kit to share with you guys. If you guys want to check out their site, you can use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, and save 10% on this kit. That would definitely help. If you're planning on picking this up or anything else from their site, you can use that indefinitely, so just discount away. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you do have any other questions or comments, or if there's something that I missed, you'll go ahead and leave that down below. Let me know, and that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Hey! Thanks for watching guys.
Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.